I'm Ed.
And I'm the old man Mike.
And this is Rock Gut Review, Sherry Cask Scotch Week.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah. So I know in one of our videos we said we were going to be focusing mostly on bargain brand stuff. And I'm saying we're still going to do that. But there's so much stuff out there. I really want to just do whatever catches my fancy, or the old man's fancy, whenever. So we're doing a bunch of reviews on Sherry Cask Scotch, starting with the big daddy of them all, the fancy one, the Macallan.
Yay! Macallan.
Yeah, and it's not just Macallan; it's the Macallan. It's the only Macallan.
Now, I've not had Macallan, so what am I expecting to taste, and what's the history of it?
Okay, so the Macallan actually comes from the Macallan estate, and let's get pouring as long as I'm talking.
I'm good with that.
And it's very famous for being sherry cask finished. That's all they do. Is every single one of their things is sherry cask finished, meaning that the barrels that were used to age this previously held sherry.
Nice.
Yeah. So you get a lot of dark fruit flavors. You get a lot of raisin and nice. You get a lot of raisin.
Sounds
and
good so far.
Nuttiness, and a little bit of chocolate. So and now this one's actually cool because this is a new Macallan, or relatively new. At the start of the year, they did a rebranding, and this was one of the new brands to come out of that, which is the Double Cask. And they call it the Double Cask because it's American oak barrels and European oak barrels, both sherry seasoned.
Okay.
Yeah.
I noticed there's a little red hue to this one. Is that from the sherry?
Yeah, absolutely. So you will see, like, when they finish it in different wines, they'll take on the color of the wine.
Okay.
Because the wine will actually soak into the barrel, and a little bit of that wine
Will leach out.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, that's where you get the flavor.
Flavor and the color.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Oaky.
Mm-hmm. It definitely
Nutty.
has that nuttiness.
Yep.
A little bit of
that right off.
that kind of almond or kind of like not cherry-esque, but almond-esque. Yeah.
Like you said, there's a little raisin in there too.
Mm-hmm. And this,
Wow.
yeah.
That is complex. That's all across my tongue.
Oh,
All kinds of different flavors.
And the cool thing with Macallan is that because they're aging it in just sherry barrels, they have very small stills, which gives them a really heavy, oily new make. And with other brands where they have taller stills, you're going to get a lighter tasting thing, so it doesn't stand up to the sherry cask as well. You don't really get the whiskey taste. You just mostly get the sherry cask. Yeah. But we can explore some of that a
So
little
this
later.
is an oily whiskey.
Yeah.
We talked about cutting it down with water
Yes.
on one of the other shows. Would this be a good one to try that with?
Yes, absolutely. I definitely think we should try that. I'm going to take a couple more sips neat. I'm going to take a couple more sips neat. Now, the interesting thing about
Wow.
this bottle usually will run you, I think, $60, around $60. Full disclosure, I won this bottle in a raffle, so this is about as bargain brand as it gets for me.
That's the way to go.
Yeah.
Luck of the Irish.
Yeah, pretty much. But this is the cool thing about this is that this brand was kind of made to compete with Irish and American whiskeys. Because they're using American oak, it's not quite as heavy as some of their stuff that is done purely in European sherry casks. So it's a little bit lighter, a little bit more vanilla-y.
Well,
But it's not light compared to other whiskeys.
I get that smoke flavor. I get the vanilla.
And the interesting thing about the smoke flavor, they don't really use peat with this. They use a tiny bit of peat, but that smoky, that toasted.
Is that the charred cask?
It's from the sherry cask. That toasted marshmallow comes from the sherry cask.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Now this you put in your mouth and it lights all over your tongue all at once, and it's got a good finish. It's got a nice feel going down.
But the interesting thing about this, right, is that the reason they started using sherry cask was because back in the day you would actually ship sherry to Scotland in the cask. You would age it in a cask. You would ship it in a cask. But then the Spanish government made it illegal to ship in a cask. Yeah.
Because?
Environmental concerns, using too much wood, I guess.
It was the Spanish.
Yeah. But, so basically what the Scottish companies started doing was they would take a barrel from America or a barrel from Europe, they would send it to the Spanish cooperage, or the Spanish sherry house, and they would put sherry into the cask just to age Scotch in. So you put it into the cask, you let it sit for a couple months, or you pressurize it so you can get all the sherry to go into the wood.
Oh, sure.
And then you send it
much quicker.
You send it out to Scotland. So this is sherry seasoned. The sherry that was in this really didn't go out and get sold. Other companies, including one we're going to do next, they only use barrels that actually age sherry for commercial sale. So, well, let's try.
Interesting.
Yeah. Let's try a little water in this. And I'm only adding the tiniest drop.
I'm gonna try it the rough way. Beautiful.
I feel like that brings out a little bit of that kind of the orchard fruit, kind of orange and
Very
apple,
much so, yes.
and gives it, like a lot of that more toasted marshmallow. I think when it's neat, it's a lot more of the vanilla, and this is, toasted marshmallow, orchard fruit, just a lot of
flavor going on there.
a lot of sweet flavors.
Yeah.
But there is still a lot of that spicy oak, that heavy oak in it.
Ooh, that's good drinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. And you do get that kind of drying tannic oak finish on the end. Like it's very sweet. It's very sweet when it enters your mouth, and it goes through a little journey, and it comes out
warming your back.
Yeah.
The throat kind of thing. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's really good. So yeah, that's Macallan. Macallan's known for being a luxury brand, very famous. Everyone knows about the bottle that just sold for over $1 million. And they actually advertise it now as this is a collectible brand. You can sell this later and make money off of it.
Or we can drink it now.
Or we can drink it now.
Which I prefer.
Yes, absolutely. So this has been the Rock Gut Review. Stay tuned for more sherried whiskeys.
Thank you for joining us.
Cheers.